left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, you never left you still in me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. Gates is not the only bill that I've been observing, and not the only bill that I find kind of disturbing. Let's go back to the year 1986 and meet the 99th Congress. What a bunch of dicks. They came up with H.R. 4456, the Child Vaccination Act. And here's a wild, fascinating fact. If your company that you own and they supply the vaccine, somebody died, nobody gets tried in a court of law at all. Problem solved. No retribution, no legal solution. You all scot-free. Watch me. Hop on a plane with Mr. Epstein. Now boarding the Lolita Express. Whoa, look over there, man. Is that Eminem and Stephen Colbert? And look, it's the two Bills, Clinton and Gates. Oh man, and they look like they're hitting on that girl that we met on the plane. The one that was with Ghislaine. I think her name was Courtney. Shit, she's only 14. We need to get the fuck up out of here. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, you never let you still in me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Now, let's say that you got a foundation and almost all your donations, they're directed toward the containment of a particular contagion. And one of your experts, he's kind of grouchy, his name is Mr. Fauci. He comes up with an equation. Fear plus persuasion equals the creation of a frightened nation whose panic and lack of education and only wanting just some protection from this agent of infection, they head in your direction and they ask Mr. Bill for their injection.
Wanting just protection from this agent of infection.
Why don't you go get your shine box?
Your direction.
Go get your fucking shine box,
Their
Tony.
injection.
I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you still in me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Dear Bill, I wrote you, but I keep getting returned to sender. I've even tried your wife Melinda, but she's putting a block on my calls. There's a rumor she might have a cock and balls. I apologize for the cursing. I guess you two are never in the same room at the same time, so people think you might be the same person. But anyway, fuck it, man. What's been up? How's the vaccine biz? I know you wish that everybody was on board like Maxine is. Oh, guess what? My wife's pregnant again. You remember Myrtle? Yeah, I always seem to wind up with the skanks. And what's up with you having 3 kids? I thought Melinda was infertile and you were shooting blanks. And what's up with all these tanks? I see them being transported on a train. Is that for martial law? This shit's getting insane. You remember when I met you in New Delhi and you were complaining that it was really smelly? Well, I asked you if it was safe getting that polio vaccine and you said I was making a great decision. Yeah, well, my daughter's okay, but my son Micah, he lost his vision. Yeah, it's been some time and a lot of tears now. And Micah, he's been blind for years now. He's gotten pretty good at walking with a cane, though. Anyway, hit me up, yo. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, you never I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Wow, thank you, Riddle Girl, for warming up the crowd as always, man. I swear you're my hype. You're my hype person. How y'all doing on this Tuesday? Tuesday afternoon, evening. It's evening, right? It's an evening catch up.
Yep.
Gotta remember that. You know, I came up with it and all, so I should remember that. How y'all doing? Gerald B's in the house. Riddle Girl got the jokes, warming up the crowd, as I said. And Broken Patriot is in the house as well. How y'all doing? Oh, so today is the tomorrow I will not be having a chat. At the end of this chat, there will be, times and listings and all that of when I go live. Tomorrow, I will not be live. So if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching this on D-Live, yes, I'm streaming to both. By the way, my D-Live link is in the descriptions below if you want to check me out there. But we're streaming to both D-Live and YouTube at this exact same time. It's pretty futuristic. Actually, it's been around for a while, I'm sure. I just finally figured out kind of how to do it. But yeah, I won't be on tomorrow. Thursday's chat will probably be pretty lax. If I do one. I probably won't be feeling too good. And I won't have any time to look up any kind of news articles or anything like that. It'll be basically if I'm feeling up to the chat and I just want to hang out with y'all. And maybe you can educate me on what went on during Wednesday and Thursday, because I'm going to be out of the loop for 2 days, for sure. Armed Archangel. Got a moth flying around. How you doing? Walter Davis. Good evening, sir. Gabriel Montoya. Hola. Gerald B. Hey, I don't know how long I'll be on tonight. The power has flashed out twice in the last 10 minutes. You getting storms up in Maine? Holy shit.
Get some rain.
Yeah, I know. Riddle Girl's all pissed off. Everybody's getting rain but us. It'll come, Riddle Girl. It'll come. And when it does, it'll be brief, but...
Torrential.
Torrential, exactly. What's up, Archangel? How you doing? Appreciate the links, by the way, before. You can always share links here. Well, you can't yet. Hold on.
Sleepy. You're not allowed to be sleepy.
There you go. Now you could share links if you wanted to. You're sleepy. Oh, well, shit. I'm sorry. I'll get right to it. Maybe. I have been known to put a motherfucker to sleep before. Walter Davis, hey Riddle, hey Gerald Hastings, how y'all doing? Okay, let's go. Oop, that's not the right page. Oh, it is the right page. I just did not set this up. I apologize. Hold up.
Oh no.
Yeah. This is not a great moment in my life right now. I'm a little behind. We were futzing with this because, as you know, the last few chats that we've had, I started an event, said it was going to be for 10 o'clock, and then I hit the go live button. And it starts up a whole different thing. Well, I believe we fixed that tonight, did we not, Riddle Girl?
Yes, we did.
So that's what I was spending all my time with, and I forgot to put the webpage up. Okay. Wallish, George Floyd's body camera footage is out. The story is far more complicated than the media led us to believe. Now, we are going to decide in this article whether it matters or not with the footage that we're about to watch. We're going to read it as well. But we'll keep an open mind both ways, right? 2 months after the footage of Floyd's death went viral, sparking an epidemic of rioting and violence that kills dozens of people and caused untold damage to countless communities across the country, body cam footage of the incident has finally been made available, published by the Daily Mail after being leaked to the outlet. The additional video below lends crucial content to the fatal encounter between Floyd and Officer Chauvin and gives insight into the state of mind of both men. Given that this tragic episode and the reaction to it has been the most significant story in the country for 2 months, one of the most significant of the past decade, you might think that the media would treat the new evidence as a rather big story. But so far, the opposite has been the case. The news media, for the most part, has noticeably muted reaction to the footage. One might say suspiciously muted. Whew. It's one of them days. Perhaps that being the story the new footage tells is, at the very least, far more complicated than the one the media and the activists have been screaming into our ears since May. That story with which we are all extremely familiar, that George Floyd was a complainant, complainant?
Yes.
And peaceful man who was strangled to death by a racist anti-black... Huh?
Compliant.
There you go, compliant. Thank you. I knew that was wrong. You just like agreeing because, you know, you're doing other things.
Trying to keep an eye on live chat and this chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see. Well, that storm that hit the East Coast is hitting us up here now. Holy shit. Okay. You want a dust storm? Why do you want a dust storm, man? Those are the worst. I would like a rainstorm, but the haboobs, you can put those back under your shirt. I don't want those at all. Hey, Patriot, north of Philly just got rain to flood the job site. 10 feet of water? Holy crap. Yeah. Okay. Compliant and peaceful man who was strangled to death by a racist anti-black psychopathic cop. It was straightforward, we were told. Quite literally black and white. And the only opinion that one can really have about it is the kind of opinion that is easily expressed on a protest sign. Of course, we've known from the beginning that some of this was, to put it gently, not quite accurate. However, Floyd was or wasn't acting on the day of his death. It strains credulity? What's that word, Riddle?
Credulity.
Yeah. To use a word like peaceful to describe a man who once forced his way into a woman's home and robbed her. I don't care. I don't care what he did in his past. So we're going to pop past that. Yet those who make the claim rarely acknowledge that there is any burden to meet, much less any honest attempt to meet it. Also, anyone following the story has known for some time that according to the medical examiner report, Floyd was not strangled to death and did not die from asphyxiation, as the media has so confidently declared it in the immediate aftermath. It was found that Floyd, who had a pre-existing heart condition, had 3 illicit drugs in his system. Did y'all know that? I don't think I heard that before. Including fentanyl, which is 50 times more potent than morphine and known to cause respiratory distress, died of cardiopulmonary arrest. I can say that word. Complicating law enforcement subtle restraint and neck compression. A medical examiner performed an examiner hired by a medical examiner performed by a medical examination performed by an examiner hired by Floyd's family. So an examiner who was paid by the Floyds contradicted those findings, claiming that Floyd did not die, or did in fact die of asphyxiation. So the state's, the cops, or, well, not the cops, but the state's medical examiner says it was because he had 3 drugs in his system and he had a heart thing. And of course, the people that Floyd hired said, no, it was totally asphyxiation. That was the status of things prior to this week's developments. We had a disturbing video without prior context, a bunch of assumptions, and not much more. And those assumptions were considered reason enough to burn our cities. The new footage does not necessarily clarify things. In fact, it does the opposite, adding complications and nuances to an issue that was once assumed to be utterly straightforward. The body cameras worn by the officers, Kring and Lang, the first 2 cops on the scene, show Floyd agitated and uncooperative from the first moment that the officers arrive in response to a call from a business owner who accused Floyd of trying to pass counterfeit bills. Floyd in his car, when law enforcement first shows up, one of the officers draws his weapon because Floyd is initially hesitant to show his hands. Once Floyd places his hands on his head, the gun is holstered. After much coaxing, he is eventually removed from the car and taken over to the police cruiser. Floyd appears to have trouble walking on his way over to the car. He shouts, "Ow," and seems to be in pain, even though he is only being grabbed by the arm. Once at the vehicle, he repeatedly refuses to get inside, saying that he is claustrophobic, though he had just been sitting in his own car without any apparent difficulty. On the contrary, he was extremely reluctant to get out of his own vehicle. At one point, as officers try to convince him to get into the car, Floyd says he'd rather lay on the ground. He's also said several times that he's going to die and that he can't breathe. That he can't breathe before he ever got on the ground. All before he was on the ground, he ends up on the ground because he either falls or pushes himself out of the other side of the police cruiser as officers struggle to get him inside. From that point, the scene unfolds as we saw in the initial video 2 months ago. Let's see if this video's still up. Yeah.
I see your hands.
Damn, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please,
Both hands.
do nothing.
Put your hands up right now. Let me see your other hand.
What we do?
Put your hand up there. Put your hand up there. Hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
I'm sorry, brother.
Who else is in the car?
This is my
Put your foot back in.
I'm so sorry. God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way as I was before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your hands up.
I'm so sorry, brother.
You got them?
Man, dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Last time I got shot like that, I was
Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head.
So apparently he'd been shot before, supposedly. I don't know. That's what he's claiming. I haven't heard that before.
Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm going to get out of here, man. Please don't shoot me, man.
Not shooting you, man.
Please, man. I just lost my mom, man.
Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Officer. Please don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
You're not shooting me, man.
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face away.
Okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, Mr. Officer. I didn't know.
Right now.
Stop moving. Put your hand behind your back then. I'm not going to do nothing. Face in the door.
Get his over home.
Hey, you come back. Stay in the car. Stop resisting, man. Yes, you are. Stand up.
Against the wall. Yes.
What I doing?
We're figuring out what's going on. Drop the bag.
Figure out what's going on.
Adam,
What's your problem?
Said something to him. It ain't us.
we was getting a ride,
I
sir.
just got my phone fixed. It's my ex-man.
Adam knows me.
It's my ex.
Are you good?
He keeps telling me, get in my car.
That's it, man.
They let Trump Floyd
I mean, I definitely agree that he was on something. The way he's acting. But does that excuse anything else?
Sir, I just came to buy a tablet, and when I bought a tablet, it didn't.
Oh my God. He didn't even do nothing.
Sir.
You have ID?
No, I don't. My name's
anything with
Shawan
your name on it?
Hill.
Sir.
I just came over to get my phone to see I don't have a purse or nothing.
Mr. Adam
And my
knows
daughter
me,
is on her
sir.
way to get me.
What's the deal?
I don't
Mr. Adam
know.
knows me, sir.
That's my ex. I don't know.
Why is he getting all squirrely and not showing us his hands and just being all weird like that?
Because he's been shot before. He don't
Well, I
wanna-
get that, but still, when officers say get out of the car, is
Going
he
on.
drunk? Is he on something?
Oh, he got a thing going on. I'm telling you
What
about
does
the
that mean?
police. We have problems all the time when they come, especially when that man took that gun like that. It's been one.
What's your first name?
He's pretty good.
What is it?
He's a good guy. George Floyd, she said. Oh, ouchie,
What
man.
are you on something right now?
I'm not, no, nothing.
You acting erratic.
Man,
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
God, man. Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier.
Let's go.
Man, but all right, let me come on down now. It's a little better now.
Keep walking.
Like, okay, stop. Do me one favor, man.
No, when we get to the car, let's get to the car, man. Come on.
Dang, man. Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man, don't leave me, man.
Here.
I
I want to watch that car too, so get him in.
Stand up, stop falling down. Stay on your feet and face the car door.
You get a seat on him?
Please, get out the door, man. I just want to talk to you, man. Please, let me talk to you, please.
You ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not going to listen to nothing you're saying.
Can you watch that car? Just make sure no one goes in it.
I hear you, but you are going to face the door right now.
Listen up. Stop.
I'll do anything. Anything y'all tell me to do, man. I'm not a resistor, man. I'm not. You can ask him.
In my opinion, he's definitely resisting.
God, man, I'm gonna do nothing like that, y'all. Why is going on?
Not saying he deserves it for that, but
I'm not that kind of guy.
The other side.
Mr. Officer, I'm not that kind of guy.
Stop.
You please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please.
Face away.
Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Well, you're still going in the car.
Anything sharp on you?
I won't do nothing to hurt you, Officer. No, sir.
thank you, Gabriel.
Nothing. I don't have nothing. Why y'all doing me like that, Mr. Officer? Please, crack it for me and stuff, man. I am claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Can you please crack it for me, please?
Yes, I'm
Rub my
cracking.
name.
All right, let me get to that. I have a feeling it won't be an election. I don't know, man. I disagree with that a little bit, but we'll see. Broken Patriot says in Arizona, you are older than 15. You must carry ID at all times in public. Really? I need to look that up. I do not know about that. And if that's the case, I am not very pleased by that. This is supposed to be one of the most free states in the nation, right? Yet we had curfews, yet we had lockdowns, yet they make us wear a mask, and now who knows how long this law has been in place, if you're right, Broken Patriot, of having to have an ID with you at all times if you're older than 15. What kind of Nazi Germany bullshit is that? Tell me Arizona's a free fucking state. Fuck that. Oh, that pisses me off. Riddle Girl, can you look that up? I'm pissed. Where do I sign a petition to end that bullshit? You ever hear the Fourth Amendment? Mr. TB9, when it comes my turn, or when my turn comes, the talking is over. We went and voted in the primary today. Yes, we did. And Gabriel Montoya says we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. Should we wager on it? Oh, money. I got money saving to move, but Broken Patriot, my daughter got busted, yes, years ago with no ID. Wow. If they want to ask for your ID, they have to assume that you've committed some sort of crime that they're concerned about. Well, thank you very much, Armed Archangel. That is very well appreciated. Thank you for the support, bro. But if they ask you for your ID, that's them detaining you. And in order to detain you and ask for your ID, they need to suspect that you've committed some kind of crime. They can't just go up to you and ask you for your ID for no reason. That's some bullshit. I don't carry my ID all the time. Let's bring it up a notch, Gabriel says. Thank you very much, sir. That's very well appreciated. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. Whew. That all the money that comes is going back into the channel one way or the other. The last Google check that I got went towards getting some bullets for the 300 black. Right now, actually that was part of the reloading ones, right? That I got the Lehigh Defense reloading ones. Yeah, they're self-defense ones. I almost have my load worked out. I did go to the range and shoot off some reloads, and I think I got it dialed in. They're pretty gnarly rounds, but I mean they're almost $2 a piece when I shoot them, so it's expensive. They're definitely only going to be for hunting or self-defense or YouTube videos after the fact, after I figure out my recipe for that. But thank you very much, Armed Archangel. I appreciate that. Mr. Tommy Boy 9, next you'll have to be in a closet, mask on, goggles, gloves, sit there and shut up. F that. And Broken Patriot, she was skateboarding in a parking garage. Well, if it's not illegal, then I would what's the channel? Flex Your Rights. FlexYourRights.com, is it? Or is it just a YouTube channel? I'm not exactly sure. But type in either YouTube, or you can definitely type it in YouTube. Flex Your Rights, all one word. If you type that into YouTube, a whole bunch of videos will come up. Do some learning. These cops, they're not allowed, I mean, they can ask, but you are not mandated to give them your ID for just any time they ask for it, including for skateboarding in a parking garage. I don't know.
HB 2305 says that you have to identify if you're pulled over in a vehicle.
Yeah. So what was that again, Riddle? HB
2305.
2305 says that you have to have an ID to give to the officer if you get pulled over in a traffic violation.
And that includes the passengers.
It includes the passengers
Otherwise,
as well.
you're guilty of a Class 2 misdemeanor.
Okay. So there's that, but you haven't found the other one? Do you know? Well, let me know, Broken Patriot, if you remember the actual sighting number of that. All right, let's get back to the video. I'm going to rewind just a little bit.
Man, I am claustrophobic for real, officer.
So he's claustrophobic. He doesn't want to get into the vehicle.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you.
What's up, RG?
I didn't know I was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't want none of y'all, man. Nothing.
You got that inside in your pocket real quick on your shirt?
I'm listening. And I understand that people do stuff.
Alright, he's good. This guns, whatever. There's nothing worth it.
Holy shit.
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Okay, I got to pause for that. What the fuck, bro?
Wow.
Yeah, that was a definite wow, bro. We're going to have a little bit of a war going on. Zeus, wearing a mask in a submarine full of tears song I'm working on. That's cool. And Mr. Tommy Boy 9 with a $50, bro. That is like my all-time high donation, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on that. And I will, if you want me to put that towards medals, I'll definitely put that towards medals, because I'm trying, man. I got a little over 100 ounces of silver, and I got, like a 0.6 of an ounce of gold. It ain't much, but it's better than having the fiat that's flying out the window and just sitting in my pocket, right? So I very much appreciate that. $50, man. That's like a whole silver eagle now. Broken Patriot, I don't remember, it was years ago. Okay, well, seriously though, Broken Patriot, check out Flex Your Rights. In fact, anybody who hasn't seen Flex Your Rights on YouTube, and I think they have a website, check it out. When dealing with police officers, it's good to know your rights. Wow, Mr. TV9, yeah, I know, right? That one took me for a loop. Thank you very much, sir.
Speechless.
Yeah, well, we're gonna watch the rest of this video though, so unless somebody else wants to donate another 50.
He's good. This guns, whatever. There's nothing worth it.
Okay.
Grab a seat.
Okay.
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Please don't take a seat. I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going in. No, you're not. I gotta go in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Mind, I don't believe me, Mr. Officer. Take a seat.
So I think it's kind of obvious he's on something.
Guy, man. Take a seat. Yo, I'm gonna die here. Take a seat. I'm gonna die, man. You need to take a seat right now.
It's not excusing the cops, but
Okay, I'll roll the windows down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down and
Please,
you pull your
man.
legs in, alright? I'll
Y'all
put the air on.
stop. Look at that. Look at that.
Not even listening.
Look at it. Look at it.
We can fix it, but not while you're standing out here.
Okay, man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to them.
I'll roll the window down.
if he has anxiety, I mean, that could be considered an anxiety panic attack.
When I start breathing, it's going to go off on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
Okay. Let me count to 3. And I'm going in. Please. I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to win. I get on the ground, anything. I can't stand this, man. He know it.
Yes, you get in this car, we can talk.
I'm claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Come on over here. I'm gonna pull you in.
Get in the car.
In the front, please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
car.
claustrophobic, so I was
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please, officer. Please, please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No,
Take a seat.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please.
Fine.
My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. I can't take this, man. I can't. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground.
Get in the squad.
I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Get in the squad.
I'm going down. I'm not going to breathe.
Bro, you like that a heart attack, shit, man. Get in the car.
I know I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Talk to the driver. Get some more oxygen, bro.
I'm back COVID, man. I can't breathe.
There you go. Before I get to the chats, here's my thoughts. He was definitely on something up here. Let's see. He had fentanyl in his system. 3 illicit drugs in his system, including fentanyl. I don't know what the other 2 were. It's suggested by... Who said that? That was RG. RG Homestead said he was on meth. Well, confirmed 3 drugs. One of them was fentanyl, right? Well, that's according to the medical examiner of the state. Now, the medical examiner that Floyd's family bought and paid for says that no, he died of asphyxiation, whereas the state's medical examiner says he died of a heart condition that he already had and that he had 3 drugs in his system. Oh, Riddle Girl ahead of it on that time. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Hope to procedure goes well. Yeah, me too, man. If not, I won't see you back, but I'll see you there. You know what I mean? But yeah, supposedly it should be fun. But it's always a little worrisome, isn't it? But no, I appreciate that a lot. Tonight has been an amazing night, and I really appreciate every single one of y'all. That's awesome. My opinion on George Floyd, he was obviously resisting arrest. He was either on something or he was having a serious panic attack. Which one that is, I'm not going to say. You know, could the medical examiner be biased, towards the, being more on the cop side? Yeah, it could happen. It's happened before. I'm sure of it. Right? So he was either high on anxiety and freaking out, and I have anxiety sometimes, and so I understand how that goes. But he was either on something or he was having a panic attack. Maybe both. And he was definitely resisting. I mean, I don't think anybody can say he wasn't resisting. He was. Should he have resisted? No, he shouldn't have resisted. Right? I don't know what's going through his head at the time, but fight it in court. That does not excuse what the police officers did. Once you have the man restrained, then get off of his neck. You can keep him on the ground, maybe put on leg restraints and tie him to his arm restraints, or get more backup. There is absolutely no reason to kneel on a man's neck for over 8 minutes, right? Once he's restrained. If he's not going to run anywhere, you could maybe have somebody on his legs to make sure he doesn't get up and run. Right? So I am not excusing the police officers at all, one bit. But I do think this fills out a little bit fuller of a picture. And I think it's awful convenient that, it was leaked. You know what I mean? It's almost like some police officers probably leaked that themselves. It had to be, probably police officers leaking that, hoping to put George Floyd in a more bad light. And even in this article, they start going on about how all of his past. Man, I don't care what you did in your past. Everybody's got a past. Everybody got a past. It's about that moment. What happened in that moment. Broken Patriot, when you're having a heart attack, it feels like you can't breathe. Well, that could and I know Broken Patriot can speak personally about that. Zeus, as soon as the cuffs go on, render aid. Well, the cuffs went on pretty early back at his car, right? And then they walked him over to the police car, which seemed really far away for some reason. But he was still struggling most of the time. Once they got him in the car, he then, tried to wiggle his way out and got on the ground. But on the ground, he's not any threat. Get more restraints on him. Or get more people. But you don't need to kneel on his neck for 8 minutes. For those in chat, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, RG. Appreciate that. We can all agree on that one. What, on the thumbs up? I can agree on that. You can thumbs it down, too, if you don't like me. Plenty of people do. And then I tell them thank you for that, and then they take the thumbs down away. And it's just like, man. Zeus, they didn't brutalize him. He was a drug fiend, but we burned it all down. I do not agree with all the stuff that happened after this. Obviously, this is an election year. They're trying to get Trump out of office. And we can see the chaos that happens every 4 years. Will it die down after Trump is reelected or booted out of office? I don't know. Maybe if he gets booted out of office, maybe it calms down a little bit. But then you got socialism. So, I mean, what do you really want at that point? If he does get reelected, we already talked about that. There's some states that are talking about secession. Will they actually secede? I don't know. I don't think so personally, but who knows? And Zeus, are you a musician? Do you actually make videos on your music? Because if so, I'm gonna have to check that out. Real girl, go check out Zeus's channel if you can. I'm curious, man. Number 7 on the up. Yeah. I'm not excusing what the cops did at all. I don't think that they should have kneeled on his neck. So, me and Zeus, we might go a little bit against each other on that one, and that's okay. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody has an opinion, right? But I do agree that we shouldn't have burned any of this shit down over it. Should cops be held to a higher standard? Yes. I'm not a real fan of police officers usually. I think that, even the oath keepers, what oath are they keeping? Because you take an oath to the Constitution, you take an oath to the state laws. Well, the state laws contradict the Constitution with the Fourth Amendment by asking somebody for their ID, that, the whole Fourth Amendment thing. So there's plenty of issues. Little girl's listening to something. Yeah?
Zeus.
Wow, cool, man. I'll have to go sub you.
Oh, maybe you can be some of your startup music.
Oh, yeah, you want to do some of my startup music? Because right now I'm using Adam Lawson's without his permission, by the way. So if you like the video that plays before I come on live, go check him out. And subscribe to his channel, too. I try to be nice with that. There's a few songs hidden in my channel. Nice. Yeah, as Riddle Girl said, man, if you want to have one playing at the beginning of my chat, that'd be cool, too. That's up to you. I don't care. Anyway, that's not the only story going on. There was also a massive explosion in Beirut. Some say maybe a missile strike. I did not see any missile strike. But it's being blamed on a firework factory explosion. And I was watching High Impact Flicks, or Vlogs, or whichever channel he did that one on. And he had shown some firework factory explosions, and they're nothing like this one. This one does have some flashes going on, but then a really big boom, which almost looks like a small H-bomb.
I had read a news article saying that they were actually storing a big cargo load of ammonium nitrate in there that they had taken from a cargo ship, or I should say confiscated from a cargo ship, and it had been stored there for quite a while. And ammonium nitrate is highly flammable. I don't know if it's capable of an explosion.
Oh, have you seen this, Riddle Girl?
Yes.
Okay. This is quite an explosion. Let's see. Check it out this form. F1099. Okay. Interesting. Little girl, can you check that out while I play this? Gabriel says, I had to flip off a cop once. He was watching me from the road with headlights flashed at me. Just intimidating tactics. Got to stand up to police. Know your rights. Be ready. You know, it's not going to save you every time, but know your rights. And if you don't, then go to flexyourrights.com or YouTube channel. Okay? That's my best advice. Huh?
Cancellation of debt form.
Oh, okay. So here's the video. I want to point you out right to where my mouse cursor is right now. Here's the mouse cursor. Look at this little white dot right here. This is what I would consider a white little flash. This goes on a little bit before the big boom. And I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit because I can't hear. I'm going to watch for the flashes. You see that? I mean, that was quite impressive, was it not? Let's go back. Look at that. And here with all the steam, this is what makes me think, you know, it has the appearance of an H-bomb, at least from what I've seen before. And you can see all the buildings and stuff getting trashed down here. Let's see, 11. See all the debris. Now, also, some people counted the seconds from when it started to when the shockwave hit. And somebody said it was like 5 seconds, so they didn't know if it was like 5 miles or 1 mile. But I don't know if that matters, but that's crazy, man. I don't know exactly what it is. There's a lot of theories. It could be a missile strike that was trying to assassinate somebody there. A lot of people are blaming Israel possibly for it because this is Palestine, I believe, right? Others say that it was a fireworks factory, which kind of debating on that. Well, actually, the official story is that it's a fireworks factory. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. 6 years it was stored. Are you talking about the stuff here at the fireworks factory? How do we use this? IRS.gov. Okay. I have the right to do what I want. Land of the free. Land of the free. Land of the fee. Home of the slave, right? There are instructions on the last 2 pages to Riddle Girl on how to use that. And Mr. Tommy Boy, where can I get some of that? I have a business to take care of. Yeah, you got some tree removal? Tree removal from your tornado? Was that in Lebanon? It was Beirut. I believe it was Lebanon, yeah. It was Lebanese people, so I'm guessing it's Lebanon. There's plenty of different angles on that too. Should I search for a few different ones? Let's see.
Breaking news, this out of Beirut, Lebanon, where at least 70 people have been killed in a massive explosion, 3,500 others injured.
The blast flattening the city's port and destroying buildings. And Eyewitness News reporter Arlene Frere is live with the very latest and what may have caused this deadly explosion.
See it just evaporate? That's some sort of water.
The death toll continues to rise. As you mentioned, Lebanon's health minister says 70 people were killed, thousands others were injured, and the moment of that blast was captured on video. The explosion causing a shockwave, then thick smoke could be seen billowing from the area. The blast shaking Lebanon's capital, Beirut, flattening much of the port, destroying buildings, causing heavy damage. Again, Lebanon's health minister says 70 people have died, more than 3,500 others suffered injuries. Now, the U.S. Embassy in Beirut has issued a security alert warning Americans there to stay indoors.
Exactly, Archangel, or armed Archangel, and that is no way that's fireworks.
The blast was felt miles away from the scene.
As I said before, like I was watching High Impact Flicks. He showed some videos of firework factories that explode. It's not anything like that. Were there flashes in the fireworks factory? For sure, but there was no H-bomb style explosion with a vapor in front of it. That is intense.
Cars could be seen flipped over. The force also shattered windows and blew.
It moved vehicles on a highway like miles away.
Beirut, like devastation. Whole building fell on top of me. People dying. City destroyed.
The cause of the blast is not yet known. However, the chief of Lebanese General Security says it could have been caused by highly explosive material that was confiscated from a ship some time ago and stored at the port.
So I guess there's a.
Now, the USGS says the blast
that's what you were saying.
Magnitude.
Confiscated explosives.
Also say that you can't directly compare a 3.3 magnitude to an earthquake because this happened on surface, above ground, not underground like an earthquake would. But again, a very powerful and deadly explosion.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Click the.
Sorry, what, Riddle?
Ammonium nitrate is also used as fertilizer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we all know about the Oklahoma City bombing. But I mean, I guess I didn't watch footage of that. I didn't know if there was a vapor trail on that one either. But we'll see. Ambulance will have to wait. Was that more than fireworks? That was definitely more than fireworks. And the shockwave breaks legs. I don't doubt it. It was flipping cars on other ones. Absolutely, that was my thought as well. Hydrogen bomb. I know. I mean, obviously, if it was a hydrogen bomb, there would have been probably more destruction. But it does. And I don't know. I'm not a bomb expert, right? YouTube, I'm not a bomb expert. But I would have thought an H-bomb would have been a lot bigger and more devastating than that, right? But I mean, the characteristics of the vapor is what I'm referring to on that. Gaming with Travis. What's up, Gaming with Travis? It was fireworks. There was a chemical called ammonium nitrate. They had 2.7 thousand tons of it. There was a fire where the fireworks were, and the ammonium caused an explosive to be so big. Well, that's weird. Why? The official story now, apparently, is that it was confiscated explosives off of a ship, right? 2.7 thousand tons of it. That's a hell of a confiscation, and you're going to put it in a firework factory? I mean, I guess. Is this going to come out later that it was some guy that was on his break smoking a cigarette and, licked it in the wrong spot? I don't know. We'll find out. Well, welcome to the chat, bro. I think it's the first time I've seen you here, so welcome. Appreciate you being here, for sure. So, that was an interesting thing that happened today. Here we have an article about the CDC. Head of the CDC admits that hospitals have perverse incentive to pad the COVID deaths. We all knew this. I mean, we already knew that, Maxine, no, I forget the lady in charge, but we already know that.
Maxwell?
No, not Ghislaine. It's somebody in the administration who said, well, yeah, if somebody has the Rona and then dies in a car crash, we're going to count that as the Rona. Well, obviously that's going to happen. West Texas explosion, H-bomb flashed a light and entire city flat. Holy shit. Robert Redfield, director of the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, admitted Friday that hospitals have the monetary incentive to over-report the Rona deaths. I think you are correct in that we've seen this in other disease processes too, he said. Really, in the HIV epidemic, somebody may have had a heart attack but also had HIV. The hospital would prefer the classification for HIV because there's greater reimbursement, Redfield said during the House panel hearing. Friday when he was asked about potential perverse incentives and how they might affect our response to the Rona. So I do think there is some reality to that, he added. I do think that when it comes to hospital reimbursement issues or individuals that get discharged, there could be some play in that for sure. Several other health experts, including White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator Deborah Birx, that's the lady right there, have confirmed that Rona deaths are being generously counted. Yes, if did you know that George Floyd also had the Rona? That is a fact. Well, I don't know if it's a fact. It was reported that he also had the Rona. So technically, he might have been put under that category as cause of death. Back in May, Birx said hospitals were overstating deaths by up to 25%, and multiple reports have delayed or detailed individual cases in which hospitals wrongfully attributed the cause of death to the Rona, including the case of a man who died from a gunshot wound to the head in Florida. Tell me 120,000 people died of the Rona here in America. Yeah, because they're counting people who got shot.
Yeah, a person who fell off a ladder.
Yep. Several other Florida cases proven inaccurate as well. CBS 12 News examined medical examiners' reports of the Rona deaths last month and found at least 8 examples where a person listed as the Rona death died from something else. In one case, a 90-year-old fell and broke his hip. That was from the ladder. And another 77-year-old died of Parkinson's disease. But he had the Rona, so we're going to count it as the Rona. Out of 581 deaths reported, only 169 of them were listed as Rona deaths without contributing factors. Let that sink in for a minute. 581 of them were considered Rona deaths, but only 169 of those were actually not from a secondary cause. That's like 2/3. Real quick math with Stinger, The CDC has also been caught reporting deceptive numbers. Last month, it was revealed that the CDC website listed 3,721 Rona deaths that were characterized as intentional or unintentional injury, poisoning, and other adverse events. So if you decide to eat your barrel, but you have the Rona, you're a Rona death. Wow. Philip Carpin, we all saw the motorcycle accident with the Rona on the death certificate. A rarity? Not really. So the guy died in a motorcycle accident but had it. CDC reports 3,721 death certificates in the C virus count, as also lists intentional and unintentional injury, poisoning, and other adverse events. Wow. It's all about the money. We all knew this. We've been talking about it for weeks. When ammonium nitrate is stored improperly, it deteriorates and becomes unstable. And I looked it up, and it is explosive. Well, yeah, we knew that's explosive from Oklahoma City, but thank you for the information. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into more of that. H-bomb, flash of light, and entire city flat. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second. Real Girl wants me to mute myself. All right. And I apologize if you didn't know about the Oklahoma City bombing. Armed Archangel, I bet everyone that caught in the blast zone of that explosion comes up with a bad case of the Rona. Yeah, I bet you too. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Trump says he has the authority to issue an executive order on mail-in votes. Do you think he does? I don't know. I don't know what he has the authority of. I mean, the president has way too much authority, in my opinion, anyway. But President Trump claimed Monday that he has the authority to issue an executive order on mail-in ballots, whose increasing use, he argues, could increase election fraud and uncertainty, though it is unclear what he could do to curtail the practice. I have the right to do it, Trump told reporters at the White House press conference. We haven't gotten there yet. We'll see what happens. Trump. You know what you should be paying attention to is social media and taking away their Section 320. Because that's what's going to get you ousted out of office, man. Trump added that the Republicans are planning to file suit as soon as Tuesday to try to block Nevada's expansion of mail-in voting. Nearly all election procedures are governed by a state-by-state basis, with the remainder set by Congress or enshrined in the Constitution. There is no precedent or apparent authority for Trump to try to curtail the use of mail-in ballots by executive order, though he could use a document to formalize his opposition to the practice. So you could just say, I don't like that. Signed, Trump. Can you imagine that? Mr. Police Officer, I do not appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to write you a note. Stinger. There you go. Trump has called remote voting options as the biggest risk to his re-election. His campaign and the Republican Party have sued to combat the practice. In addition to his claims of fraud, Trump argued that voting by mail would delay the determination of electors' victor, nothing that the winner of a New York Democratic congressional primary vote conducted by mail weeks ago remains undecided. Okay, let me reread that. So there was a primary vote in New York, and they're still counting votes, basically. Trump claimed the challenge would be greater in a presidential election where the Electoral College could come down to just one state, and some states allow mail-in ballots to be received up to a week after election. Wow, it sounds like the procrastinating party might actually have a chance this year. You never know who won that state, Trump said Monday, of Nevada's expansion of mail-in voting. Interesting. All right. Probably. So your gaming channel, that's cool. What kind of games you play, Travis? Right now I'm playing Evil Genius 1. And I also play RimWorld a little bit. And I was streaming a little bit of Call of Duty Warzone, but then they did the whole BLM thing, and I just got tired of playing. Dems turn focus on USPS while pushing mail-in ballot scams for election. The Postal Service is in a financial unsustainable position, stemming from substantial declines in mail volume and a broken business model. So this whole article, I'm not really going to read it all, but this whole article goes into the fact that the Postal Service can barely handle what it's handling now, especially with the whole Rona situation. You've seen how bad the post office is, and now you want to add to it mail-in voting? I mean, how much longer are we going to have a United States Postal Office? I don't know. It shouldn't be. The only thing I ever get in the mail from the post office is usually bills and adverts.
Stuff from eBay.
Yeah, people from eBay send you stuff because it's the cheapest, I guess. And the Democrats don't want you to get your stimulus money. I don't understand why, because they were the ones pushing for it in the first place, but apparently they think they can get some leverage or make Trump look bad. As with the prior Rona economic stimulus, House Democrats, despite being the first out of the gate, were yet again continuing to drag their feet on negotiations that would deliver another round of checks and other forms of much-needed relief for American taxpayers. It's going to more than just taxpayers. It's going to a lot of people who don't pay taxes, too. Negotiators on a huge Rona relief bill reported slight progress after talks resumed Monday afternoon in the Capitol, with issues like food for the poor and aid to schools struggling to reopen safely, assuming a higher profile in the talks. Multiple obstacles remain, including an impasse so far on extending a $600 per week pandemic jobless benefit. How does the Democrats not want to do that? Right? How do you go to your constituents and say, you know what? We had an option to give you an extra $600 per week on your jobless benefits, but we thought we could hold out and do better. So we're going to, you're just going to have to sit there and wait and hope that we actually get something better down the road versus here's your money right the hell now, right? So funding for the Postal Service and aids to renters facing eviction. So they paused all of that. Democratic negotiators spoke of progress at almost the very moment that top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell was slamming them for taking a hard line in the talks. All sides predict a long slog ahead. Several more days of talking are expected, if not more, as lawmakers seek to deliver what will likely be the final legislative response to the pandemic before the November election. We are really getting an understanding of each side's position, and we're making some progress on certain issues, moving closer together, said Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. There is a lot of issues that are still outstanding, but I think there is a desire to get something done as soon as we can. It's amazing. I thought the whole Democratic situation was that they wanted to give you free money. You know, and now they're holding out for more? I don't know. It's nothing to them. They're still making plenty of money. Well, yeah, I know that. But I mean, this is an election year. If you want people to vote for you, you need to not only make Trump look bad, but you also need to make yourself look good. Look what we did for you. Versus, we're blocking the free money to you. To me, I am not a Democratic strategist, but that goes against everything I knew the Democrats for. Since the 60s, when Lyndon B. Johnson said he'd have them voting Democrat for the rest of their lives. Everyone's unemployment is running out and things will get worse, and you know that. Yes, I do. And the Democrats are saying, you know what? We'll hold out for more. Yet people who run out of supplies first will become desperate, and desperate people do crazy things. Yes, they do. Dunkin' Donuts employee is arrested after a large, thick piece of mucus was found in the cop's coffee. Ooh, somebody spit in a coffee cup. A Chicago Dunkin' Donuts employee has been arrested after a police officer found a large, thick glob of mucus, which was later confirmed to be saliva, in the coffee he had just bought. Illinois State Police said that the unnamed District Chicago trooper had gone into the Dunkin' Donuts on Archer Avenue on July 30th about 10:20 p.m. to buy a large cup of black coffee. Due to the coffee being extremely hot, the trooper removed the lid from the top of the cup to cool it down. The Illinois State Police said in a statement that's when he saw the large, thick piece of mucus floating in the coffee, police said. Immediately after the incident, the ISP began an investigation, which led to the arrest of the 25-year-old Dunkin' Donut employee Vincent J. Sessler a few hours later. Wow, a few hours? That's a quick investigation. Did they get a DNA test to make sure it was him, or was he the only one working? Duncan said in a statement to NBC News that the franchise owner had fired Sessler. Sessler was taken into custody by the ISP District Chicago troopers and has been charged with disorderly conduct and battery to a police officer. They're charging him with battery. Wow. ISP Director Brendan F. Kelly issued a stern statement about the incident. This is outrageous and disgusting. The men and women of the Illinois State Police put their heart and soul into protecting the lives and the rights of all people in the state every day. Did you know that people in Illinois had rights? I did not know that. They deserve better than this insulting and dangerous treatment. Wow. That's insulting, man. They're putting their heart and soul into protecting the lives and the rights of all people in this state every day. Dude, you go against their rights on a momentary basis. Whew. Was the lump green or yellow? It was mostly white from the photo that I'd seen of it. It was gross, though. I didn't want to see any more of it. I just ate and
I just ate and that turned my stomach.
Oh, sorry, bro. I won't show the photo. How's that? They already got themselves 300 or 30,000 rays. Kicks, rocks, peasant. Oh, the guy who actually did the loogie? Really? Are you serious? Holy crap. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Note to self, make my own coffee. If you're a police officer, I would. I mean, if I was a cop, even in another year, right, when this isn't all going on, I would not be going to a Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, a cop going to a donut shop? No, dude. Yeah, make your own coffee. It's called a thermos. But they're entitled. They're above the law. They think they can do whatever they want because, you know, they have a costume and a badge. So they're out there protecting the lives and the rights of all people in the state every day. I mean, they should be able to go to a Dunkin' Donuts and get some coffee without a loogie in it, right? All right. Nearly 2 in 3 voters think progressives will respond violently to Trump's reelection. I would imagine, you know, if we were to take a poll here in this chat, how many people think that if Trump wins re-election, that the left is going to riot even more and respond violently?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. So this isn't a big aha moment, but it is an interesting story that they're suggesting that, you know, we already saw the story that some states might secede from the union if Trump gets reelected. Now, you know, even the sheep know that if Trump gets reelected, that shit's going to go down, right? Is that going to be a deterrent for people voting for Trump? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. A poll released on Monday showed that 62% of voters believe it is at least somewhat likely that progressives will commit acts of violence if Trump wins re-election. The poll conducted at justnews.com found that more than 1/3 of voters, 34%, thinks that it's very likely progressives will respond violently to Trump re-election. Voters were far less likely to believe that conservatives, Republicans, would respond with violence if former Vice President Joe Biden won. Currently, if he won. Yeah, I don't think would respond. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of good old boys that don't want to go socialist. And if this country is going socialist, there's a lot of people that will rise up for that too. In fact, wasn't it if Hillary Clinton had won, I heard that there was a coup that was going to happen, right? So if Hillary Clinton winning would have made a coup happen and they would have taken her out, wouldn't the same thing be with Biden? I don't buy either one of them, but who knows. I would have dealt with the employee myself. Well, he did get fired. Oh, if you were a cop? Well, he got arrested. So I don't know. A study, American skepticism of the media is only going to get worse, or only getting worse. What do you guys think? You guys trust the media?
Nope.
You trust Fox News?
Nope.
You trust CNN? The most trusted name in news? I used to watch Fox quite a bit. It got worse and it got worse and it got worse. And then when Trump won, I realized how bad it really was. Because certain people on that on Fox News is on the Trump train 100%. Can do no wrong. Speaking about Hannity, if you're questioning who I'm speaking about, other people were totally opposite, right? You had what's his name? Dude, he's a homosexual, but that doesn't really matter. Shepard Smith, right? Shepard Smith, right? Oh, he couldn't stand Trump, and he definitely made that apparent. And I guess he's still working there because he gets paid well, and they're too afraid to fire him because that would be diversity, problems and wrongful termination. I don't know. The only person I still watch at Fox is Tucker. Because everybody else has an agenda, and they conflate shit too. And maybe Tucker does as well, but I haven't caught him in it. But I have caught just about everybody else on Fox News at one time or another not telling you the whole truth because it doesn't fit their narrative. The same thing with the whole George Floyd thing, right? I don't want your opinion on what happened. Just tell me the news on what happened. And when you leave out certain key details of shit that happened because they don't fit your narrative, or when you add stuff like, oh, well, he did this, and he was a wife abuser, and he had done porn, and I do not care what he did in his past, and neither should any of you. It's at that moment what happened, right? We've all got a past. All right. The distrust by many Americans feel towards the news media, which is responsible for much of the nation's partisan divide problems, only seems to be getting worse. The trend was the conclusion of a sobering study of attitudes towards the press conducted by Knight Foundation and Gallup and released on Tuesday. The Knight Foundation. Cool. Nearly half of the Americans describe the news media as very biased, the survey found. That is a bad thing for democracy, said John Sands, director of learning and the impact of the Knight Foundation. Our concern is that when half of Americans have some sort of doubt about the veracity of the news they consume, it's going to be impossible for our democracy to function. The study was conducted before the Rona lockdown and nationwide protests over the Floyd. So this is before that. 8% of respondents, the preponderance of them politically conservative, think that the news media that they distrust are trying to ruin the country. Okay, so conservatives think that the news media is trying to ruin the country. I can see that. The study found that 71% of Republicans have a very or somewhat unfavorable opinion of the news media, while 22% of Democrats feel the same way. Switch it around, and 54% of Democrats have a very favorable view of the media, and only 13% of the Republicans feel the same way. Almost did a coffee spit. The divide has been documented before, but only seems to be deepening, particularly among conservatives, Sands said. Well, that's because if you count Fox News as a conservative news organization that only tells the truth all the time, then you have Fox News versus all the other ones. So MSNBC, CNN, CBS, all those, right? So yeah, I would imagine even if you think Fox News is perfect and they never lie about nothing, then the majority of the news outlets out there are liars. Right? Thought that was interesting. The only news I watch is a few YouTube channels here and there. Exactly. I watch Tucker. I don't watch the whole show. I watch the clip that comes on YouTube. And then if it's interesting, I'll share it with you guys. Hyperinflation is coming, says Gabriel. Yeah, you better believe it. Oh, that's why I'm not stacking cash. A lot of the people I'm talking to about silver, they're like, oh, it's going to dip. It's going to dip. All right, I'm just holding on my fiat, waiting for it to dip. And they have all these reasons why it's going to dip, historical and stuff. And I'm not a long-term silver stacker, right? So obviously my opinion on this is that we already had a dip back when it went to $12 an ounce. And now it's going up. And just today, it reached like $26.50 was the high. Or no, it's $26.42 was the high. And it closed at $25.98. Gold had gone all the way up to $2,031 an ounce and is now at $2,023 an ounce. Hyperinflation. It is coming. You cannot print that kind of money and give it away for free and not expect something in return. All that money that you're going to get from the government for your stimulus check, you better spend it quick. You better get what you're going to get quick. I'm going to get me an ounce of gold. A full ounce if it stays under $2,400 an ounce. If it stays under that, I'm getting a full ounce. And that's free gold. The last time there was a stimulus, I got a half an ounce. And that's free gold. Right? And that's gone up quite a bit since then. At the time, I think it was like $1,800 an ounce. And I paid like $1,900 an ounce for it, even though it was a half an ounce. I don't know the exact numbers, I forget. But yeah, hyperinflation's coming. all that money that you're going to get from the government, it'll buy you maybe a piece of bread. Because you can't keep printing that kind of money and not expect something bad to come from it. Let's see. Mr. Tommy Boy 9, I've seen you on the Fullerton Informer live chat. Yeah, Mr. Tommy Boy 9 gets around, man, and I do appreciate that you're on mine too. It's hard to watch the lies on the news. It is. Spoon-fed the Afghani dream. I'm not exactly sure what that's referencing, but thank you for the comment. Broken Patriot, it's because Democrats love the Kool-Aid. Yeah, they like hearing what they like hearing, for sure. I mean, we like hearing what we like hearing, too. I'm even guilty of that. Mr. Tommy Boy, I'm always screaming at the TV my wife watches. Oh, yeah, you haven't gotten her away from the news yet? I got away from the news a few years back, and I'm happy. I'm a happier man for it.
Remember the whole drama that happened when we cut the cable cord at first?
Yeah, when we first cut our cable, because we don't have cable anymore, we just have internet. Oh, man, I was like, but how am I going to watch all these things? I got over it. Gabriel, I've got gold, silver, and platinum. Nice. Platinum has come way the hell down. It's interesting. I thought about maybe buying it because it was over 2,000 an ounce for a long time. It was over what gold was by a lot. And now it's like $800 an ounce last time I checked. I haven't checked in like a week, right? But at the same time, if shit goes down and I have to buy something with my silver, because that's why I'm stacking, right? I'm stacking not to then exchange it for more fiat. I'm stacking if this economy goes to shit and breaks down and I need to pay for something with something of value. Well, silver has been around since biblical times or even longer as a currency, right? So if I want to buy a loaf of bread, I'll give you a dime, a silver dime for it versus a wheelbarrow of fiat, right? That's what I'm preparing for. Platinum doesn't fit in that because platinum looks an awful lot like silver, and trying to say, well, this is silver or this is platinum. And they're like, yeah, it looks like silver to me. I don't really want to deal with that. So for me, it's not an investment. It's more of a, if the dollar crashes. You mean Riddle is getting a full ounce? Yeah, well, we're sharing a full ounce because we're getting 24 because of me too. I'm in that group too, bro. I never spend more on silver than 20 an ounce, so you see my profit. Shish, don't tell anyone. I was very proud of not spending over $20 an ounce until 2 weeks ago. So I've spent, in total, and this is a little inside information, I've spent $1,600 on gold at $23-ish an ounce. That's not that bad, to be honest. Because I have well over 4,000 invested. So, I don't know. At the same time, I bought a tube of American Silver Eagles for $27.50 per eagle. I bought an eagle once for $12 just a few months ago. You know, so it's quite a hefty upturn. But at the same time, if I wanted to sell them right now, I could sell them for like $35 per all day long. I'm buying 2 more pallets of chili and water. Chili? Nice.
I think he's planning some biological warfare.
Right? There's going to be some... You're going to have to get some gas X with that shit. You planning on biological... Okay, you already said that. And platinum is more rare than gold. Yeah, I guess. I don't really know. So I'll take your word on that. But... gold and silver has been currency forever. Platinum really hasn't. It's a great industry metal. It's great for catalytic converters. But am I going to pay a bill with it? No, I don't think so. I don't. We can disagree or agree on that. It's fine. And lastly, I'm going to share with you a Fuzzy Fork video. I was gonna just share the link that he shares down here. But it takes you to a site that doesn't like my ad blocker, so I decided against that. So I'm gonna put the link to his video in it, and if you want to, you can then go click this link, which will take you to this article. 407 for rent. What's up? How you doing? What's the best type of silver to buy? Well, I've been buying mostly constitutional silver because that's the closest to spot that I can get. However, I couldn't pass up on the deal. I hate saying $27.50 and an eagle was a deal, but it was pretty good of a deal, especially if you want to flip it. And I might flip it if it goes up more, just because I'm also saving for a down payment on some land. Okay. Coins. Yeah, the more in bulk you buy, the cheaper the premium is going to be. So if you bought like a 100-ounce bar, the premium is going to be a lot less on that. And you won't have to pay a lot extra. But you're not going to get much when you return it, right? So like when I pay more for an eagle, I'm going to get more than spot back. Depends on where I go. Like when I bought that tube of eagles for $27.50 per eagle, if I had then turned it around right then and sold it back to the guy, he probably would have sold it or bought it back for like $2 less than he sold it for, right? So I would have been at a loss. However, my dealer is really cool and doesn't charge much premiums no matter what it is. So I would then take that tube of eagles, sell them individually on eBay, make $37.50 per eagle all day long, and make like $650, netting me a profit of $100 ish. But constitutional silver, it's kind of fun. I like it, especially if you can get a good deal on it. But you do need to know a little bit about it. My gold stash is over 60K at the moment. Wow. Scottsdale Mint, Scott's good silver bullion prices. I don't think so. It's not my opinion that the Scottsdale Mint has good prices. I think I do want a few things from the Scottsdale Mint, but you got a wrench. You want to share a link on some good prices? Because I'd be curious on that. And I've got a lot of silver Morgans. I got one silver Morgan, and we got 3 peace dollars. So there you go. So we're going to watch this Fuzzy Fork video. And as I said, I have the link in the not in the descriptions, but just right there. If you scroll up just a little bit in chat, you'll see my link for this video.
Well, guys, listen up.
Give me thumbs it up.
Listen up. You got a recall. This is from USA Today. Recall. Red onions expected in Salmonella outbreak shipped to all 50 states and Canada. This is dated August 3rd, 2020. And why food recalls are increasing. Well, how about you're getting everything shipped in globally. You're not doing the stuff in the United States anymore. You got foreign interests that is packaging the meat in the United States. And you wonder what's going on. Duh. Red onions, potentially contaminated with salmonella, are shipped to supermarkets, restaurants in now 50 states. Thompson International, Bakersfield, California, on Saturday recalled all red, white, yellow, and sweet onions shipped from May 1st through the present time out of concern that they're infected. Onions were sold in cartons weighing 5 to 50 pounds. Let's see, Thompson Premium, Thompson International, Kroger, Food Lion, Hartley's Best, Tender Loving Care, L Competitor, Imperial Fresh, Onions 52, Majestic, and Utah Onions. And you got Kroger here, or yellow onions. Onions were distributed to wholesalers and restaurants in all 50 states and the District of Columbia and Canada. Okay, they haven't really found the source of the contamination. But here what we have now. I want you to see this. So far, officials have reported 396 illnesses, 59 hospitalized in 34 states. No deaths has been reported yet. Okay. Canadian health officials on July 3rd said red onions from the U.S. might be the potential source of salmonella outbreak in Canada. You can have high fever, aches, headaches, lethargy, rashes, and blood in the urine or stool.
Wow, thank you very much, OMG. A little late to the party, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for the support. It's going great, if you're asking that. But this is interesting, man. Onion recall might have salmonella, right? I don't know. This is the only thing that I've heard about it. This was a video that Fuzzy Fork put out just recently before I went on live. Appreciate the super chat or the sticker. OMG, thank you very much for the support, sir.
Illness can be fatal. Salmonella leads to about 420 deaths annually, according to the CDC. Consumers should not eat any of the recalled onions or any onions they think might be from Thompson. They should be also disinfect any surface that came in contact with the onions. Okay, I'll put a link in here for this.
Yeah, so if you're interested in the story, go to his channel, check out the video. His link is in his descriptions. And it takes you to a site that you need to not have an ad blocker for. So we'll leave it there. All right. You bought months ago. You got lots of Silver Morgans, Mr. Tommy Boy 9. I bet you do. I bet you do, man. You're stacking high. Unfortunately, and it makes me wish that I had started a long time ago, but I can't go back and tell myself to do it. And at the time, I didn't have the money to do it. I had bought silver at $30 an ounce back in, I think it was in around 2010-ish, 10, 11, back when it went up to $50. Remember when silver went to $50 an ounce? I bought it on the way up at 30. I only bought like a couple ounces, right? But I had it for a while, and then all of a sudden, I needed money. I had a car that broke down and I had no way to fix it. So I offered the mechanic silver coins instead of cash, and he accepted. But that was the only, I've tried. But living paycheck to paycheck, it's really hard to invest in silver. And finally in December, holy crap, there's another one? What's up, Zeus? Appreciate it, bro. Super important ice cream fun. No, I can never eat ice cream again after tomorrow. But I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I'll eat some sort of sugar-free vegan stuff. I appreciate it.
Frozen protein shake.
Oh, frozen protein shakes. There you go. But I've tried to invest in silver before. But when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you just can't. In December, we finally started getting ahead. I was actually able to put money for the suppressor, right? Which I do now have. And it's beautiful, man. It is beautiful. But yeah, just started being able to do that. So in, I think it was March or April, we started buying into silver. I got one good silver at spot deal from Silver Bull. So I got their 10-ounce silver bar at spot, which at the time I believe was $18-ish. So I got it for $180, and right now it's worth like $260. So that's pretty cool. But I wasn't able to get anything else because in the country shut down. When I got my stimulus check, I did pick up a free to me ½ ounce of gold. Also paid off all of our outstanding debts that we had coming in. But here it is. Here's my government stimulus American Gold Eagle ½ ounce proof. Isn't she pretty? And I know Mr. Tommy Boy 9 is over there like, so what? But for me, this is pretty cool for me. I never had a proof coin anyway, and I did pay a little extra for this premium proof coin, but it was on the government's dime, so I was like, shit, I'll splurge a little. Why not? All right. Well, we're getting off of here, Mr. Tommy Boy. We're getting off of here.
Weird. It was like it turned the whole screen gray, and it was looking all bizarre, and now it's like super bad quality. I don't know what's going on.
What, from the coin?
No.
Oh.
Just the stream.
Okay. I'm up because I napped from 7-Eleven. That's why. Okay, cool. 407 for rent. Let's see some more 12-gauge pistol firearm action. Ooh. Are you requesting a little bit of a Gabriel Montoya? Thank you very much, sir, for the extra. Man, I'll just stay on here as long as you guys want. You requesting a little bit of comrade action? Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. I'll sleep when you die. Super important. Yeah, okay, I read that. Mr. Tommy Boy, from 2015 to early this year, just stacking. 2015 to early this year, dude. Oh man, I wish, right? I'm on it a little bit late, but that's okay. I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got, and if it goes down to $15 an ounce, I'm screwed. Mr. Tommy Boy, are they tying your tubes? Lap band surgery? No, I'm not getting lap band. I'm getting gastric. And OMG is glitching, or I'm glitching. And Mr. Tommy Boy, I have 2 in the cupboard. Big deal. Yeah, I know, right? So here you go. This is not a gun. This is not a shotgun. This is not a pistol. This is not a rifle. This is a firearm. And that's what it's classified as. That's why it can be super short. Only 12 inches long. I think it's more than 12. No, it's about 12. About 12-inch long barrel. It's got a stock on it. Well, not a stock. It's got a brace on it, and it's got a forward grip. And the only on a regular pistol, like if you see my 300 Blackout pistol, I don't have a forward grip on it because having a forward grip on a pistol is illegal. But this isn't a pistol. This is considered a firearm. It's some sort of loophole they got away with, but they got away with it. Yeah, this is my little thunder stick. Keep it by the bed. All right, I bought a Walter PPQ Q5 SF matched with my stimulus. Nice. What did you guys do with your stimulus monies? If you don't mind saying. If you mind, don't say it. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud. We paid off the truck. It was only 2 more payments to go, but it was a balloon payment at the end. So we were kind of struggling on it. And then we got the stimulus and we're like, problem solved. We had like, how much? Like $600 in credit card debt. It wasn't much, but you know, credit card debt. So we paid that off. Boom. Gone. And then we still had enough money left over to get a half an ounce. And, oh, loved it. Wish I could have gotten more. And I plan on getting more this time. About, well, oh, I read that. That's badass. Cool. I mean, if you're going to get free money, that's the best way. Anyway, guys, I have kept you for long enough, an hour and a half. So if you like these chats, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you dislike my chat, give it a thumbs down. That's okay. I like the interaction. And if you're not already subscribed, consider doing so. And if you really want to know when I go live or drop a video, which I do hope to make some videos. I've got like at least 4 videos in the works that I need to get done. I've just been procrastinating. I'm an amazing procrastinator. But that you would want to hit the bell for. I will not be having a chat tomorrow night. I might have a chat on Thursday night, but if we do, it's going to be pretty chillax. I don't think I'm going to have any time to look up any kind of news articles or anything like that. I would call out the loud one. It's loud. That one's loud. The 300 Black used to be my loudest firearm, but not anymore. Not anymore. But as you see, this one has a forward angled grip because you can't have a pistol grip on there or a forward grip on there. Anyway, that's my little gun porn of the night. I bought a Karuba RTV 500, brand new, down payment. Oh yeah, the ATV, right? Or well, it's not ATV, it's an RTV. I don't know the differences. I'm sorry. I bought 2 MSI gaming laptops for the boys. Right on, bro. That's cool. And invested in farming equipment for Gabriel. All right, cool. Okay, cool. That's cool. Smoked a half an ounce. You smoked half an ounce of weed? That's not a whole stimulus check, is it? Nah, an ounce of weed ain't that much. 500 rounds, 77556. So 762 by 39 and 556. I don't know what 77 means. Maybe it's a round I'm not aware of. That'd be interesting. Yeah, getting ammunition right now or components. That would be something to put money towards. I need small pistol primers or small pistol prime. No, I have small pistol. Sorry, I need small rifle primers. I have not been able to find them. But however, the last gun show I went to, and I did go to a gun show a few months ago, which was awesome. I had to go like 4 hours out of the way to get to it, but I went there and they did have small rifle Magnum primers, which I do believe I can use. I just have to downgrade how much powder I put in the projectile. But are you going to the Arizona oceanfront beach houses on vacation? No, I wish. California refuses to drop in the ocean. It's pissing me off. No, for all you that don't know, I'm going to have surgery done tomorrow evening or afternoon. So it should be fine. It should be fine. It's going to be for the best. And maybe I'll tell you, I've said it before, but it's gastric bypass. Because I have a heart condition and I need to get better. And I got to get the hell out of the city, and it's just going to be good all over. 77 grain, 556. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for you. Thank you very much for joining me. In the descriptions below, there are a few links. One is to Adam Lawson's Blessed. It is currently the video that plays before I come on live, unless Zeus wants to give me some, other material that he wants to promote on my channel. We can talk about that later if you want. Also, there's a link to Irish USMC Vets GoFundMe page where he's trying to set up a place in Tennessee that veterans can come, live, rent free while they learn a new trade like gunsmithing, blacksmithing, or farming. And lastly is projectrecover.org. It's an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members who were, deceased in past wars and return the remains to their families. Those are all great charities and organizations that I donate my money to, and if you're looking for one, those are the ones that I would recommend. And lastly, there is another link down there to my DLive page, because I am streaming currently on YouTube and on DLive. So if you're not following me on DLive and something happens to me here on YouTube, you can find me over on DLive. It's a great backup thing, right? And for all the people that are watching on DLive right now that aren't chatting, I don't know if there are any. There was the other night, and I missed somebody's chat. Thank you very much for tuning in on DLive for me, man. That's very well appreciated. All right, with that, that's all I got for you. Thank you very much for joining. Keep your family close. Watch out for the government's tyranny as they're coming to take all the rights that they can from you, and try to live as free as you possibly can in this tyrannical world. Until Thursday, maybe Friday, I'll see you next time.